Katrina Johnson from New Sky Consulting, and you're watching the CATS channel, supporting young people with disabilities to live their best and their brightest life. And we've been talking over the last 7 weeks all about how to choose a post-school support service. And today's my last blog in that series. So last week I talked a lot about the great value in having direct face-to-face, person-to-person contact with service providers in your quest to choose the best post-school support service for you. It really is through this type of contact that you're able to gauge the connection that your son or daughter has and you have with the people in the service. And it's a great way to find out and learn more about exactly what they do. Recently, my family and I went on a short holiday down to the Gold Coast, and when booking our accommodation, we spent a lot of time researching apartments and accommodation options that were there. We looked at images on the website, we read the reviews, we compared different ones, and we studied everything that we could possibly do, but we still had questions. And they were questions that we couldn't search for, we couldn't research, we couldn't find, we couldn't ask anyone who had been there before. And because we'd left things to the last minute and were in quick fix pain, we had left it too late. So we were left with no choice but to actually make direct contact, and we had to phone the apartment. We didn't want to, we just wanted to get it done, but we had to. And I'm so glad that we did, because our first choice ended up falling down to the not the first choice, and our second choice propped up to being our top choice. And we only were able to do that by having that face-to-face or person-to-person direct contact. That experience really highlighted that the person-to-person connection really helped us figure out which of those apartments was the best fit for us. So when choosing a post-school support service, you're going to have a lot of questions, and a lot of those questions will be answered during your research and finding out about them. But a lot of questions probably won't be as apparent or won't be as easily answered. And that's where the contact is important. Now, you might be wondering, how do I word my questions, and what are the right questions that I should be asking, and what should I be trying to know about? What sorts of questions should I ask? The kinds of questions you're going to ask are the ones that are going to give you the greater clarity and give you more of an understanding and insight into what it is they actually do and actually provide. So I've provided in a free ebook called How to Choose a Post-School Support Service a very comprehensive list of questions to ask services when you're at that point. And you can download that below, and the link, and I'll provide the link so that you've got those questions in front of you when you are actually having a meeting or having a phone conversation with someone. But right now I'll give you a quick overview of some of those questions. When you're speaking with service providers, you're going to want to ask questions about who. Who are they? So that you can get a clear picture and understanding of the organisation, and you can ask questions around their values, you can ask them questions around their principles and their philosophies, and you can ask them about who are the people that make up your organisation, who are the ones that work there and who are the ones that you support. And then you've got what questions. This is to find out more about their area of expertise. So what do you do? What are your experiences? What are your qualifications? What programs do you have? What do you deliver? Those sorts of questions. Then you want the when questions. So when do you operate? What are your, when are you open? When are you closed? When don't you provide service? All the very practical times of when a support program's provided. Another really important question is in the where category. Where are you located? Where do you provide the programs? Where do you provide the services? Where are you? Are you in the community or are you at a centre? Where questions. And then you've got your how questions. Now this is to understand the processes and methodologies and what they do. So they're how questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? And they're questions also around key policies and procedures. So how do you handle confidential information? How do you handle grievances or issues or problems? The how questions. And probably one of the most important questions to help you get an idea of that fit is why. Why do you do what you do? Why did you start? Why do you work here? Why does your organisation exist? Why focus on this? These questions are all really very straightforward questions, and what you're going to gauge from that is the ability and the openness and the willingness of whoever it is you're talking to and of the service to give answers and to provide answers and to provide them confidently and openly and with honesty and genuineness. When researching a post-school support service provider, most of your initial questions are going to be asked and found in the initial inquiry. So through your research, when you aren't talking, looking on at brochures or looking at the website or reading up about something, a lot of your questions will be asked there. But there's many questions that won't. And there's also questions that will need more clarity. And there's also a further line of inquiry that will help you get a better understanding of the best fit service for you. So when you're looking at that greater clarity, you're going to need to talk to a service face-to-face or person-to-person. And the questions you're going to ask are going to be around the whole who, what, when, where, why, and how. Those categories will pretty much cover most questions that you have. And remember, you've got to ask questions. This is a big decision and it's your choice. And it's the future of your son or daughter with a disability. So take the time to ask the questions and to get to know a bit about the people who it is you're entrusting with this service. At CATS, supporting young people with disabilities in post-school, that's what we do. That's what we've been doing for the last 20 years. And we've been doing that with a focus on engagement, community, purpose, self-worth, and very much about developing connections and interdependencies with the people around them and their local communities. I very much welcome and invite you to not only download our free ebook to help you on your journey, but to make contact with us and talk to us and find out more about us if we seem like a service that you might be interested in or that you think would be able to support your son or daughter in that very next important phase of their life. So in the meantime, that's it for my blogs on how to choose a post-school support service. And if you're interested in more information, please visit our website, have a look at us on YouTube and find out as much as you can about us or look at the resources we do have available. And that's all. I hope you join me again for when I next present a blog or video log. Thanks for joining me. And remember, we all deserve to live our best and brightest life. Bye for now.